yesterday notice. David of I can't even pronounce it. Quashment of resident and agency status.
I think whatever it is that you're trying to pronounce there would be quashment.
Okay, quashment. And what it basically stated that you're discharging the contracts presumption between the corporate government agents, and because the corporations are registered with the state, federal, and state attorneys, secretaries, that you should send this letter to them to acknowledge that you're separating yourselves from their government contracts.
Well, so my answer is yes and no.
Okay.
All right, and let me be specific about that. I'm not trying to be cute. On the one hand, you want to be, as a man, separate from any kind of an organization when you're speaking and being as a man. All right?
Yes.
Secondly, the word resident is a dangerous word in law, in the legal system, not in law. And it is to define you as a foreigner, a visitor, someone who has no standing. Okay? If you're the resident at a hospital, that means that you're a doctor who's there for a while you're finishing learning how to do stuff, and then when you're done being a resident, you leave. There's no doctor who would be proud to still be a resident after 50 years of practice. All right? Get that point. All right? And so, you receive things in the mail that say, you're a resident. Well, golly gee, I don't know who you're talking to, but I was actually born on this land, and I have a claim to it. A resident couldn't possibly be of that status. So, one of the problems I have with a lot of the guru stuff is that you're trying to resign something that you were really never party to. You thought you were. See, and if you go and tell them in a piece of paper that you're changing your status from something like a resident to something not like a resident, you're saying that you were a resident. Now, if you were a resident, how the hell did you become a non-resident? Okay, and now you're going to explain all that stuff. It doesn't have to be Lucy, And
if I change
some of the words, the fact, what I'm trying to say is, what would be more appropriate and more correct in law would be if you simply noticed that you realize that people have been talking about you in terms that didn't apply to you, and you didn't realize it. And now that you do realize it, you'd like to stand up and let them know that there's an error, and that the error has existed from the beginning. So, in other words, I never was a resident. I don't have to rescind my residency because I never said I was. And I guess I just didn't understand. I didn't have the competence to actually claim who I really am until now, because I finally figured this out. Because, you guys, with your legal system, it's so convoluted. You got like 150,000 lawyers working for Congress to write all this crap, and there's about 1,010,000 pages of stuff to know, and there's not a congressman in America who knows what the hell's in any of this stuff. I mean, for heaven's sake, look at the whole health care thing that they just did. How many lawyers actually went on TV and said, I never read the damn thing, but I voted for it. If somebody, because our lawyers told us that it was okay.
100% of them.
Right. Oh no, I think two of the guys actually read it. God bless them. But the point is that why say that you're quitting something that you were never part of in the first place? That gives them an Achilles heel to come back at you.
Greg.
Yeah.
Let me just jump in here for a second. When you want to say resident, okay, it comes from the word like residue. Okay, like residue. It's something. It's proof that something existed at one point in time at a specific place, or it's a place where you sit. So you reside, or it's residue. So when you leave a stain on a carpet, that's proof that you existed at one point in time at that specific location. Okay? That's basically what a resident means too as well. It means, were you there at that particular moment in time? It looks like you could say, like the IRS, or somebody's going to claim that you owe something due to them because you resided there. Residue. Proof that you obtained a service, good, or a product from us. Were you a resident of the county? Were you a resident of the state? Were you a resident of the nation? Where did you reside? Where did you sit for a while? There's proof that you sat there. There's the residue. Okay, so that's just a little bit more breaking down of the residue.